Sleazy FX back at it with another video. So guess what, guys? Passed another 50k phase 1 challenge. This time I did it even better. Did it in 2 trading days. I'm going to be showing you guys A to Z how I went about it. Why the first trading day was a shit show but was a good day as well, and how the second day I killed it. And I started the challenge on the 13th. I finished it on the 14th, and today's the 15th. And this is when I'm going to show you guys how I went about it. So stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoy this video. All right, so let's get into it. So as you can see here, this is my account. This is Myforexfunds. Start the account. Starting balance was 50k. As you can see here, the current balance is $54,157.85. Total trading days is 10. Did it in 2 trading days. I'm on the 3rd trading day. Total lots traded was 28, almost 29 lots. And yeah, so pretty much as you can see here, the first trading day was ups and downs a little bit. I took one or two trades during Asian session of the 13th. I actually won that trade as well, just didn't secure it because I was looking for a higher target, but it's all good. Price ended up stopping me out before doing what I thought I was going to do. And yeah, so let's just get straight into it, guys, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So on the 13th, right, I was right on direction, but the setup, the stop loss was just a bit too tight. The entry I felt like was pretty appropriate and stuff like that. Structure is broken and everything, but the stop loss I probably should have had below this previous low, but instead I just put it at the previous low. And what happened was price ended up just creating like this double bottom, wicking me out, and then taking off to the upside, hitting all my targets that I just expect the price to do, which was creating a new high. But as you can see here, right, price ended up doing that. And before I get into that, I'm going to explain pretty much my plan and how I went about it, and just how I go about things. So what I like to do is I like to use supply and demand zones. I like to stick to one pair, predominantly one session. I like to stick to my confluences and how I trade, and pretty much sticking to that with a fixed amount of risk and doing that repeatedly daily, 1 to 2 trades per day, and just repeating that process, indefinitely type thing. So that's pretty much how I go about it. And yeah, so as you see here, the green is London session and the white is New York and Asian. So as you can see here, price, right, created a structure being broken, right? So you can see here, I'll highlight the circle where price basically gave me that that go moment for buys. So if you drop down in a 5-minute time frame, you get multiple confluences. For one, you see market structure being broken. So you get the market structure being broken, right? So if you're a person just trading off of just market structure, no indicators and stuff, this is the indication that you want to be looking for buys, right? So price broke above structure, created that entry point right here for the bottom. But if you missed that point, I was looking for another entry right at this point. Kind of like a trend move, kind of like that, you know what I mean? And I was using fibs kind of like that. So this is pretty much what I was looking at to take the buy, just using like multiple confluences. And like I don't normally use like trend lines and stuff like that, but this time I was kind of looking at this type of move and looking at structure to be hitting just my 61.8, because this zone right here is where I was looking at price to price slow down for the day. I was looking at that. So this is the reason why for here you see that I was only going for right here, you know what I'm saying? But as you can see, there's this, supply zone right here that price can probably come to within dropping. And how I like to find my supply and demand zones is pretty much just using fibs. I've never seen someone do it this way, but I feel like this is the most like easy and best way I've done, and I've back tested it, and it's very simple. So what I would like to do is just do this for the previous high and previous low structure, where you see a strong momentum break out of that zone. So you see this resistance point, price hit this zone and completely melts from here. So this is obviously a very strong key level of a supply, right? So as you can see right here, this is that zone that you want to highlight and look at. And look what price did. It rejected right off that zone. So that right there is telling me, okay, that's probably a good level to be taking profit if I was holding my trade from here all the way to there. But what I was liking to do was just holding it to this zone right here, right? So this is the zone I was looking at to take profit and hold my trade out. But what ended up happening was GU ended up just creating a stop out, stop hunt, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I probably honestly should have had my stop loss below the previous low instead of at the previous low, which a lot of traders, obviously do and know. But sometimes I just don't do it because I just don't end up doing it. But it's all good. Price ended up stopping me out. I believe I took another trade. Yeah, so I took another trade around Asian session, and that trade as well was a good trade. I ended up getting like a 1 to 2.4 reward, but again, I was holding trade for an overall bigger move. I knew that price was going to tear. I knew that price was getting ready to take off, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to go about it. I was trying to find an entry, something I can hold and swing, because at the end of the day, I was trying to pass this account in a very, fast time. Like, I wasn't trying to be doing this, all week and all month, honestly. So I was just trying to find a really good trade, really good risk reward to take the trade. And for this one, the reason why I took it was overall we're in an uptrend, and what I seen multiple confluences. I see structure being broken, right? This little minor time frame downtrend got broken with this big momentum candle push move. Price created a entry point at the 50 SMA on the 5-minute time frame, and that was enough for me to take the trade. Why? Because it's going with the trend. 2, it's rejecting off the 50 SMA, and 3, structure was broken on the minor time frames. That is enough for me to take the trade in confidence. So I took the trade. Price took off. Price ended up hitting for like a 1 to 2, a little bit over 1 to 2 risk reward. Ended up creating this double top right around this zone right here at the previous structure, but I didn't take profit. And what ended up happening was price stopped me out. That's okay. I'm not tripping. The thing about me is that I understand that trading is a game of probabilities. I'm not going to let something like, being in profit 2 or 3 times my risk and then getting stopped out kind of make me foam out the mouth and just, go against all my rules. And this was the trade, if you guys are curious, this move right here. This was during Asian. And what I was expecting was price to actually just create a pretty much this whole momentum move, but what I didn't account for was a breakout out of the Asian consolidation. That's pretty much what happened here. As soon as the market kind of opened up for like pre-London and stuff like that, prices ended up starting to gain this volume momentum. It broke out of this zone and pretty much target the previous day low right here, right at this previous structure low, and creating this pretty much demand zone right at this level. So what I like to do is just marking up from the previous low high to previous high structure, previous high low to previous high right here. So marking up from this zone, and what you can do is just wait for price to hit these zones, and wait for candlestick confirmations and pretty much just go on from there. So I didn't actually take this trade because I didn't want to trade London session and New York session. I felt like I was just going to be way too tired and not really there and attentive. And again, what I like to do is stick to one session for the most part, and take my trades, 1 to 2 trades per day in that session. If I lose my first trade, I'll try again. If I win my first trade, I'm done for the day. And what I aim for is 1.5 times, 2.5 times, 3.5 times, 4, 5 times my risk. That's what I want to do. And as you can see here, price broke out of all of this zone right here. So this is great. And then what happened was price ended up rejecting from the supply zone right here. That's cool, great. And then when I woke up, right, this is what I was looking at. Structure was broken, retested, simple structure right here. This is support and resistance. Super simple, super easy stuff right here that majority of people do. Trade with the trend, right? What are we looking at? We're looking at higher highs and higher lows. That's what we're looking at and seeing. Now I add the SMAs, right? Now you're looking at this. Now you're seeing more of a bigger picture. Price have rejected off the 50 SMA on the 15-minute time frame, right, with a pin bar structure, candlestick confirmation at a support level. So you have support, you have a 50 SMA rejection, and we're in an uptrend. That is enough for me to take the buy in confidence. Took the buy, and what I did was I used my fibs. So marked it up from the previous high to the previous low and took my entry. Stop loss was actually pretty tight. I was risking 2%. In the markup right here, because I mark up all my trades, I keep them private, but if you guys want to see me public them, just let me know and I'll just public all my trades. And price ended up taking off, like literally minimal drawdown. Price just rejected and tear from that point. It was a news candle. And what I like to do is sometimes I'll trade news. I just trade with, market structure. Whatever news is going to do, I feel like it's priced into the market already. So if I'm just trading market structure and doing that, a lot of times I just do well, like even with the news candle. Sometimes it hit stop loss, but that's fine. So with news, it just gave me all the volume in the world to pretty much hit all my targets, and I pretty much got out like literally right there. Like that was like where I got out. It was like a perfect stop out, risk rewarder, everything was there, and pretty much just won the trade. You know what I'm saying? So actually no, I got out like right around here. It was like a 1 to 5 or something like that, like almost 5K trade. So pretty much got out the trade, won the day, and that was this trade right here. It was 11.4 lots I had on the trade, and that was enough for me to pretty much just be done with the challenge. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much all you honestly have to do. And again, I trade GU. Before I was trading GJ, but for me, what I like to do now is, and I just started this trading GU. But if you're gonna trade GU and even GJ, a lot of times use the DXY as an extra form of confirmation. DXY is just the strength and weakness of the dollar. So again, if you're trading GBP USD, then you know that if GBP is strong, then USD is going to be weak. So what you can do as an extra confirmation is see what the strength and weakness of the dollar is. So as you see here, right? So this is on the 13th, right? As you see here, you look on the 30-minute time frame. What do you see? You see price broke its structure and is creating lower lows and lower highs. It's rejecting off the 50 SMA on a 30-minute time frame, literally giving you a triple chop structure with rejections during New York session. Looking at this, I know for a fact that I'm like, okay, I'm definitely not looking to sell GBP USD because USD is looking very weak. At the same time, GBP USD is looking very strong on the 13th. So I'm like, okay, this is giving me even a fourth confirmation to take this buy in confidence, even though we're in a news candle is dropping. I was like, I still going to take this buy and I'm going to risk 2% on this trade. Took the trade, risked $1,000, and pretty much made all the money I needed to pass the challenge. So what is that telling you? If you wait for confirmations and take high probability setup that are trading with the trend that give you the best risk to rewards, you can do well. You don't need to have an 80-90% win rate. Even a 40 to 35, I would say even like a 35 to 55 to 60% win rate is all you honestly need to really be a profitable trader. And that was it. I mean, that's all I pretty much did to pass the challenge. And I'm going to be, I'll show you guys if you want me passing the phase 2. For the phase 2, I'm going to take it a little bit more slow just because I have 2 months to do it. And on top of that, I have less of a target, so I don't need to stress myself out about doing it. It's kind of like guaranteed as long as I stick to my rules and kind of stick to a good risk management, which will be around $300 risk per trade because they give you around a 6,000 max loss. So what I like to do is, if I go to here, what I like to do is this. So say I'm buying a 50K challenge, right? If it's 6,000 overall drawdown, I divide that drawdown by 20 trades. That way, once I'm at break even, all the way down, I'm risking $300. So let's say I buy 50K challenge. I get my account up to, let's just say I'm live. Let's say I'm live and I buy 50K challenge. I'm risking $300 until I'm up, let's say 4%. Once I'm up 4% on the account, which is $2,000, I will now risk 1%. That way it gives me 4 losses before I'm back to break even. If I know that based off my past history and my trading history and my risk rewards and my win rate, I know that it's not that likely for me to lose 4 trades in a row if I'm trading high probability setups. Then I know that I should be able to, even if I have a little bit of a losing streak, end those 4 losses to not hit break even to where I have to go revert back down to $300. And doing that type of setup and process is always going to make sure that you're risking when you're in profit, and when you're not in profit and you're in drawdown, you're doing really good risk management to give yourself enough time and enough room to get yourself out of a pickle, which is drawdown. And if you stick to that type of directional bias and stick to that type of trading plan and risk management and stick to, like I would say, preferably 1 or 2 trades and 1 or 2 pairs and stick to 1 session with 1 good risk management risk plan, I feel like you really can't go wrong, especially if you're trading with the trend and using the same strategies that I do. If you guys want to see a direct step-by-step way on how I trade, let me know, and I'll pretty much record a video on A to Z how I pretty much take all my trades. And if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. Yeah, so what I have for this channel, I want to start doing is just showing you guys videos, vlogs, pretty much A to Z, everything about it. I've been trading for about 2 years now, exactly. September 1st, 2 years ago in 2019 is when I started to trade, and 2 years in, this is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying, passing challenges and doing stuff like that, and you know, have a pretty good, you know what I'm saying, progress that I have that I would love to share and show you guys. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more content, because this is only the beginning. And enjoy this video.